Howdy one, howdy all. It's time for us to play more Standard 2022. Yay! I love this format! I will say this at the start of every video. Standard 2022 doesn't use these four old sets. It uses these four. Typically, a true Standard format has minimum 5 sets in it. So this does feel a little bit incomplete as a format, but gosh, I just love playing it. If you're interested in making one of these decks, you have to click on the box. Click Standard 2022 from below. And then you can do it. So, Standard 2022 is right now just best of 1, but that's okay. I obviously steeply prefer best of 3, but there's a lot of cool decks, such as this one I've been playing against a good amount, and I figured I want to both join them and beat them. So, how does it work? Well, we have, first of all, a lot of ramp cards, such as this Neverwinter Dryad that you can sack to pull a forest out. Also functions very nicely as a blocker. You block and then sack to keep a little bit extra life going. You also have Prosperous Innkeeper. It heals, but more importantly, it makes a treasure token, but it heals. You also have ramp like Field Trip. Search your library for a forest. You have Quandrix Cultivator, the 3/4 that lets you find a forest or island card and put it onto the battlefield. Has to be basic forest or island. And Inscription of Insight. This is actually kind of interesting to see here. It's a sorcery speed bounce spell, or draw spell, or make an illusion spell. And we'll come back to this later. I only just noticed this. But in terms of delay of game, we have Divide by 0 to send things back to the hand and learn, Test of Talents to get rid of some particularly pesky, just combo-y, obnoxious things, such as someone trying to take extra turns. We have some control magic going on, and then we have a huge number of big payoffs. We have things like Despy the cat that is in real life and is also on my mug. There she is. She's a little astronaut cat. You can get this at our store, dbh.la/day9. Despy. That's my girl. Here, I'm sorry. This is on your spot. You're absolutely right. You're right. I'm wrong, and you're a good cat. We have some big payoffs like Alrund's Epiphany for extra turns, Koma, Cosmos Sea Serpent, that's amazing. We also have an Iymrith Desert Doom, which is a 5/5 flying warty boy. Ashaya, Soul of the Wild. Non-token creatures you control are forest lands in addition to their other types. Alright, there we go. Wow, you're heavy. When did you get so big? And this addition, I think, is really clever. When Cyclone Summoner enters the battlefield, if you cast from your hand, return all permanents to their owner's hand except for giants, wizards, and lakes. That is pretty cool. This is a great way to, if things are heating up, you just play this, whoosh, send everyone back. And often you can actually just Cyclone Summoner and then swing in with one of your slap lands, Lair the Hydra, Hall of the Storm Giants, and so on. It's just a really cute little list. There's some additional tools in the sideboard because we have, obviously, learn cards. We have lessons. Excellent. I think this might actually be okay. We can foretell some things. I think that I will first play this. I probably should have Glasspool Mimic first, but that's okay. I'm hoping to not play it. But yeah, Cyclone Summoner is just a great way to send things back and slap in with the slap land. We have some nice tools, lessons and learns on the sideboard, and the fact that we often wind up with just so much damn... Okay. We often wind up with just so much mana. Something like Inscription of Insight often allows us to kick and bounce things, draw things, make things. Black-Blue Warlock. I don't know what this is. CN Duchess says, did you ever try Duelist? And if so, any thoughts on why it failed? Well, first of all, allow me to say, Magmar versus Lionar. Very fun to say. Duelist was a tactics card game. So the idea is that you had a hero, your enemy had a hero. It was on, I believe, a 6x7 grid, I want to say. And you would summon creatures and try to smack the enemy hero. And if you kill the enemy hero, you'd win. So there were aggro decks where you would move your hero across to fight, buff your hero, try to smash in. There were things like control decks that would try to summon these longer range minions to the back line. I thought it was a lot of fun. Alright, well. I don't know what double Warlock class has in store for me, but I'm in. I think I'll go ahead and take the action. I think I'd like a Blue Landy. Blue Landy sounds pretty handy. But so first of all, when you say the term failed, why did it fail? This is tight. Look at this. Bam, bam. I'm just gonna go ahead and cast it for its basic cost. Scry 2, excuse me, and draw 2. Top 3 cards of your library. Yeah, I think I want some of my heavy hitters. I tapped my blue sources. Okay, okay. You know, sometimes you make a mistake, and what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Duelist, my understanding is that it had an audience, and it was played. It neither petered out nor spiked up. I think it chilled. At least it did for, like, quite a while, like 2 to 3 years. And I think 2 to 3 years is a long-ass time in the grand scheme of things. I mean, it's like there's some shows that are canceled after 1 or 2 seasons, and you go like, yeah, I didn't really get anywhere. Alright, it's time to just have some epiphanies. I will put this one into my hand. Yakumura says certainly more than Artifact. I think Artifact, I mean, ignoring all the memes aside, I think that Artifact is definitely a prime example of things going awry. This is return all permanents to their owner's hand. Great. This does hit permanents, so I'm going to do it. Oh, Glimpse the Cosmos with Cyclone Summoner? That's really sick. This is the binding of the gods. The gods. Oh yeah, replay these, please. The binding of the gods. Okay, let's see if we can just close this game out, huh? Taking an extra turn. Alright. Ooh, sometimes it sucks to suck, you know what I mean? So, let's try it again. Let's hope that we don't lose to an off by 1 error. I hate sucking. I think sucking is one of the worst things that can happen to a young man such as myself. Get out of there. Alright. I'll finish my duelist thoughts eventually. Okay, this is 1, and then it only takes 5. Great. Here. I'm just going to glimpse the Cosmos really quick here. That's a good one to get. Blue. Alright. We did some damage. But yeah, no, I think that, like, I don't know what happened to Duelist on year 3 or 4 or something like that. I couldn't say. I'm going to go ahead and test or talents this. So, I don't know what happened in year 3 or 4. Like, let me take Hearthstone as a really good example. I love Hearthstone. I think it's great. I present tense think the game is awesome. The gameplay of it got to a point where I kind of felt like I wasn't getting enough unique exploratory experiences with the game. I felt like in this game in Magic, I mean, we were just talking about this. We were talking about the fact that, like, things rotate, right? These sets leave. These sets always stay the same. In Magic, there is a large set of cards called the Classic set that never rotates. And most decks would run like 10 to 20 Classic cards in them. And so there's only so many different ways that you can see those 10, 15, 20 similar cards in every Mage deck all the time, and so on and so on. So I don't know if maybe something kind of similar happened with Duelist. I don't know if maybe people felt a little bit like they were kind of having the same experience again and again and again. Albatross of Times, do sets rotate out in Hearthstone? Never even thought about that? Yes. They have Standard, which is a rotating format. Then they have Wild, and Wild is the equivalent of Legacy. And again, like Hearthstone, I love Hearthstone. I think it is an amazing, unbelievable game. I mean, I know this is a Magic stream. Like, I would probably recommend that you, if you had to pick, you'd play Magic. But if you said, Sean, I'm thinking of trying Hearthstone, what do you think I'll have fun? I'd be like, fuck yeah, you're gonna have a blast, man. So my opponent is doing basically the same deck as I. Crap. I thought I'd get a little bit of free damage in. Alright, fine, you got me. Alright, what do we want to do here? Inscription of Insight. I think I'd rather get Iymrith down. Chris Tony says, how can you see that your opponent's doing the same deck when only seeing 3 or 4 cards played, 2 of which are lands? These are the blue-green lands. This is a foretold card. There's basically no common foretold cards in blue-green outside of Saw It Coming and Alrund's Epiphany. Which one's more likely? Well, if they're running all ramp pieces, I would expect to be an Alrund's Epiphany and so on, so... Not brilliant. Not brilliant at all. Cyclone Summoner combos very nice like this. Great. This is ideal. I think I take the extra turn, I think. Well, let's do this first. So these are serpents. These are halfling citizens. Returning things have giants, wizards, and lands. This is a land. This was a very good play because, you know, Ashaya being awesome. Probably just win the game relatively swiftly here. Alright, we win. We win, we win, we win. Take an extra turn. I promise you I'll finish this duelist thought, but it's probably going to take like an hour and a half. Now, I don't have enough land to do an Alrund's Epiphany, except for the fact that that's a land. Okay. Get it? Yeah, so it could be that Duelist kind of had a little bit of the feeling that people enjoyed their 2 to 3 years playing, but then sort of went a little bit down. I'm like, let's imagine then. Let's imagine, because so again, I think that there's a lot of difficulty of pointing to the reason. In fact, there's an old Terran StarCraft pro named Joseki that worked at Duelist, designing cards for a while. But I think Nixeris, I think I agree 100% with your point. Nixeris says, I'm someone who adored Duelist, but even with a net deck, found it really hard to wrap my head around the game. The tactical element on top of the deck building was just a little too complex for me. So I might suggest that the learning curve may have been too steep and it hurt its player base. Yeah. Like, I think a lot about, intuitively, what's the anchor that makes me want to stay? Or not the anchor that makes me want to stay, but the anchor that makes me understand what's happening in the game. Let's take a game that has a really good one of these. Overwatch. Push the damn cart. Right? Man, everyone's doing the same garbage, huh? Push a cart. Did we do a good or bad job? I don't know. Is the cart pushing? It's the kind of thing that can clue you in to what's happening really, really quickly. I think I actually should do this. Dark said, did some big stream plays recently 2 mirrors already? It's a pretty popular deck, right? For good reason. It's fucking awesome. Is the cart pushing, right? Okay, Dota, very complicated game, right? Tons of stuff going on in it. Good lord. Look at the towers. The towers provide this sort of like anchoring logic. And from that anchor, you can start to build other little anchoring concepts. Like, think about mid lane in a MOBA. There's the 2 towers right here, the lane's meeting, and there's 2 people there trying to be teammates together, shitting on creeps. I'm coming in. We don't really need the health. Prosperous Innkeeper is good as ramp, but would be fine to exchange. All of a sudden, because the towers provide this really nice logical anchoring element of like, oh, I need to just knock down the towers. Oh, and I need to get gold. Okay, these are like really simple things, last hit things, get gold. Well then, understanding that you need to keep your health up and manage your abilities in such a way that their health gets lower than your health, so that they have to leave the lane so that you can get more gold, which can then let you knock the tower down more easily, and yada 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 yada. Like it starts to build slowly starts to build a lot. And so the way that I would frame it is, in this game, Dota, the cool, subtle, interesting, complex stuff, managing abilities, how to position yourself, when to go for a last hit, when to pull back and avoid damage, that's really complicated. but it becomes understandable because there's that basic layer of these anchoring thoughts. Wow. Okay. I don't particularly care about this thing. Game plan's still the same. We just take that damage, then my opponent casts Alrund's Epiphany, which we then test of talents and clear out their whole hand deck. Life, soul. Nose, knees, and toes. Uh-oh. Oh, that's a bit of an issue. It's okay. And in many of these kinds of tactical style games that I've personally played, I think we take action, and we also... I think I kind of need to get an island, even though I really want to get this Neverwinter Dryad out. I think that when you have these tactical games like Duelists, it's hard to get these anchors, because everything in the game's moving all the time. You know what's a really good anchor in Magic? Your health. And it's really easy to attack the face. You just do it. In Duelist or tactical games, you'd have to, like, walk 3 hexes, and then walk 3 hexes, and then walk 3 hexes, and then you'd finally be right up next to him. Pretty basic turn. Don't need to block here. Actually good, so... Yeah, I mean, in Duelist, the fact that I constantly have to, like, march to your half of the screen and hit you suddenly means that there's this very abstract, fluid thing where it's like, is that good? Is that bad? I don't know. A way I might compare it is that, think about how in 7... 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's pretty close. This is pretty good. I mean, if you think about... like imagine if in Dota, you could rebuild expand anatomy, please. Imagine if you could rebuild towers. It's like we killed a tower. It's like, is that good? Is that bad? I don't really know. Who fucking knows? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How the hell do we do this one? I mean, a Cyclone Summoner's coming. I actually just do this. This is right, and then I can get an Alrund's Epiphany off this, huh? I think it's probably the most reasonable one. Bye, everyone. Thinking, processing, thinking, processing. That one out there. I don't really think any of this matters. Alright. I have a strange and remarkable idea. My strange and remarkable idea is that I think that the best way to win this is to get to my own Alrund's Epiphany. I think that's the best way to get there. Dino. Maybe we just lose. Yeah, actually, I think I needed to leave this one up for the Alrunds. I think I needed to leave it up for the Alrunds. Yeah, I think I just messed up. Oh, that's right, you can cycle with Learn. Ah, yeah, that was my mistake. I needed to leave up the Test of Talents, because if I just counter that Test of Talents, then I think that we win the game. You can't Test of Talents Summoners. Test of Talents is only instance or sorceries. This is one of the reasons why it's kind of a weak card. But, like, I think to finish the... That was a play mistake. I should have left up the Test of Talents for Alrund's Epiphany. I was trying to go for my own win plan and did not properly delay theirs, but that's okay. Yeah, it's one of the reasons why Test of Talents, broadly speaking, is a very niche, not very great card. Well, this hand is terrible. But yeah, I think that, like, in Dota, if you could constantly rebuild your land, or your, powers, it would be hard to understand if you were making progress. If in Overwatch, on those point capture maps, you'll notice that there's two different percentage things that fill up to let each team know how they're doing with the capture point. Imagine if it was in the middle, and if one team had captured a 50%, you first had to uncapture their 15%, and then capture up to 100%. Well, then you'd have games that kind of go back and forth, and you're just like, I can't tell if we're winning or losing. There's a lot of struggles that can emerge from there. Wait, is it niche or niche? Both are fine. Typically, a niche is used for a physical place. And a niche is used for a conceptual. And I remember looking this up because I played a game as a kid called Lands of Lore. You can find things in niches. So there is a niche in which you can find, like, a sword, but if you're making a book for a niche audience... So look this up as a kid. It's awfully hard to lose. So this is actually an Orzhov control list that runs 4 Skullport merchants. They're different. It's the same words, same pronunciation, but just typically in usage, I've learned that there's a slight favoring to one or the other, which is absolutely fascinating.
You want a job done right, hire the best.
If you want a job done right. No attacks. Niches get steeches. What deck is Villain playing? It's an Orzhov control list that basically runs 4 of these, 4 of these, 4 of these, 4 of these, and 4 Blood on the Snows.
Ghosting feels weird, I know.
Okay. And then Grunge Pop, cast Alrund's Epiphany. Yeah, I think that there is a sort of conceptual underpinning for a game like conceptual underpinning for a game like Duelist that I think is actually quite challenging to track. And I think that that's one of the hard parts, is like, in Dota, I remember being told, it's so complicated, oh my god, the game is ridiculous, it's just the most complicated thing ever, holy shit, blah, blah, blah. And then I sat down to play, and again, those anchors of, like, push the lane, last hit the stuff, made it so simple to begin the gameplay. Cyclone Summoner is... Oh! I'm Kaya. I'm inexorable. Alright, God.
I changed the term. Ghosting feels weird, right?
Never gonna stop ramping. Never in a million years am I gonna stop. So I think that was a real problem that I had with Duelist, where it was hard for me to know if I was making progress, not making progress, if I had goals, if I didn't. I actually almost wonder if Duelist would have been better if there simply were not heroes on the battlefield that you had to kill. Because the fact that the win condition target can get moved makes it really abstract. And again, I don't know if that's the reason why Duelist petered out. Because it did stay strong for a long time, which is, like, fucking hard to do. Kick it! This. You and you, get out of here. This player draws cards. Okay, this list also runs 4 of these and 4 of the Shamblers. So these Shamblery Wamblery Woos. I actually kind of want both of these fucking guys, man. I'm a 3/3. And what's nice, too, is that because Villain cast Deadly Dispute and whatnot, we're in a position where we can swing out comfortably.
You won't get away so easily.
You won't, I swear to God. Spellbind away. Yeah, Koma annihilates Kaya. because on upkeep, you sack the Serpent and make sure that this activated ability can't be activated. Look at 4-5 says, I feel like Duelist just had a visibility problem. It came out, but I never really heard anything about expansions. You know, again, I'll note that unbelievable games tend to just force people to play them by virtue of them being unbelievable. Like, Super Smash Bros. Melee is legitimately impossible to play. First of all, you have to get a TV that weighs minimum 100 pounds. It's bubble, so you have to replace your eyes with fishbowl eyes just to see the screen in a flat fashion. It runs on a GameCube, of which there are now only 10. The controller is made out of plastic that melts in the sun and cracks in the cold. And it can't be played on the internet, okay? And yet, a lot of fucking people play Smash and travel to tournaments for it, okay? Like, you know. I think that visibility can be a multiplier. I think that maybe you would have gotten, your growth rate would have increased by 30% or something if you'd had that great visibility, but I'm sort of... I feel like history has shown us that games that are inaccessible as they come. How many times can one man play? Let's do this. Yeah, I don't know. I just think that, like, it'd be a multiplier, but at the end of the day, like, if Smash can be as successful as it is, I mean... Bro. And many bing-bongs were had that day. Turn to its owner's hand and just replay it and then return it. No! I didn't mean to pass the damn turn. Shouldn't have made so much fun of this person. Shouldn't have done it. It was a horrible, crude, rude thing to do. So I have makeed a mistakey. I literally just passed through the turn. I meant to play Koma Sea Serpent. Hydra land can block it. I mean, yes. But I would wish for it to not do that. Because I want to be able to have it on the offense. If I summon it, then it'll get -3'd and eaten, and it's one of our core beaters. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We have 12, and this is 2, 4, 9, 12, 13. It's not the best. It's not the best. I can't do lands? Oh. Who knew?
Ghosting feels weird, right?
Even if this couldn't do it, I'm still very concerned about just basic removal spells. I did it, I found the line. Found the line so divine, it is your Paldean Eye. If you cast it from your hand... Yeah. Yeah. You know, it's kind of funny. I know exactly what happened in my brain. I know exactly what happened in my brain. Let me show you. Oh, come on. Just show me. Show me everything. When Zakama Primal Calamity enters the battlefield, if you cast it, untap all lands you control. If you cast it. There's a lot of cards in Magic that say, if you cast it. because you wouldn't want as a Koma to enter the battlefield from the graveyard, untap all your land, and then you cast something that brings another Zakama to the graveyard, untaps all your land. You know, there's infinite recursion situations that this avoids if you cast it. Not if it enters the battlefield, but if you cast it. The Cyclone Summoner says if you cast it from your hand. Very different. Very different. And I know this is what happened is because I played it and nothing happened, and I went, but I cast it. And I went, it must have text that's different then. And I was right eventually. Leah Stin says, hi, new to Twitch, and been playing Arena since April, made Mythic last month, nicely done, but really struggling this month with the new cards, so I'm here to watch and learn. Well, as you may have already been able to pick up, there are certain things you will learn here, and certain things you will not. In fact, there's times, Leah Stan, where you will see me learn in real time going, oh, fuck! I didn't realize, but I thought, oh, God! Albatross at times says, run for your life, Leah. Get out of here, Leah. I don't want you watching my content anymore. Alright, we have a Lotus Cobra. I think I'll do the only thing I'm allowed to do and get a forest. Alright, so the question is what to do. Well, I mean, Lotus Cobra typically implies that there's some sort of rampy-bampy things happening. Atlanticato says, Danon is a great teacher. It just depends what you want to learn. Get out of here, Atlanticato. Someone ban Atlanticato. Atlanticato, please ban yourself. That was very funny, but incredibly rude, and don't think I won't forget. Don't think I'll forget. Don't let it be the case that I won't not forget. Go ahead. I think I want to delay this just once. Enter as a Prosperous Innkeeper, please. It's landfall. Yeah. I gotta admit that's pretty tight. Scoot away. Can we take a moment to appreciate that our opponent's name is Yukon Jimmy. Alright. It's your good old friend, Yukon Jimmy. What? What is Lorehold Excavation doing here? Sure. Yukon Jimmy. Well, I was always a big believer in what my father taught me, which was always bounce your opponent's entire collection of garbage. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and draw 2 cards. Very, very excellent. Felidar. Magmar versus Felidar. Okay, good. So to finally finish its thought, I think that if you told me that Duelist eventually didn't quite get there because the gameplay got a little stagnant, or if the gameplay quality wasn't high enough due to the fact that it just kind of... It was just a lot to track, I think that would make a lot of sense to me. Let's go ahead and make blue. Let's go ahead and make blue. Send back now, y'all. Very cool. Yeah, I don't know. That's what I think. And I think it actually can't be overstated how important it is in, like, multiplayer games to have these sort of conceptual anchors that you can, like, hook into as you're playing. Because if you don't have it, it's hard to know what's going on. It's like the really successful multiplayer games out there have this overstated structural component. You know, like there are 3 lanes with 3 towers in each lane and barracks on the other end of the lane on the way to the Nexus. There is a shrinking circle. You better fucking stay inside this shrinking circle. You fucking motherfucker. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna basically kind of do the same thing several turns in a row. Did I not tap that? That sucks. Music says clear goals, clear methods to progress towards those goals. I think it's like clear goals, clear steps of progress along those goals. So, like, what I mean is, there's a difference between multiple steps to be able to deal damage versus I'm dealing damage all the time, and that damage is multiple steps towards victory. It's that second thing that I mean. Well, it was on that day that we went and said goodbye to Yukon Jimmy. We sent that kind man right to hell where he did not belong. What creature is most similar in feel to extra turns? Cyclone Summoner. Woo, 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 woo. Achilles Guy says, do you think the overstated conditions of most games these days are necessary to adhere to the rising number and use players? I think it is fully orthogonal. Like, brains like structure. They just really, 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 really like clear, clean, straightforward structure. For instance, if you are talking about writing books, there's a really common structuring, which is state the story question in your first page. There's been a murder. Who did it? And the question is, will our hero figure out who solved the murder and save the day, right? You want to beat the reader in the head with that sort of thing. People like structure. I recently watched this movie called, it's a French film called Un Prophète, or A Prophet. Un Prophète sounds way cooler than a prophet. But there's not really a clearly stated story question. It's a really visceral look at someone that just got stuck in a prison and is trying to survive. And I was just thinking, again and again and again as I was watching, I was like, man, what is the story question? Woodburger says, respectfully, I disagree. What do you mean respectfully you disagree? Because I'm stating what is, like, less my opinion and more of just like a common technique that is used successfully and has been for a while. Uber says, oh, I'm stating a profit. Sounds better. No, as in like, not like, oh, I made money, a profit, but like a profit. Oh, you think that does sound cool? Okay, well, in that regard, I'm ready to fucking fight you, Wootburger. And you know, I'm just ready to fight. I'm here to lose games of Magic, to mono-white aggro, and to be correct. Mm-hmm. This is going to be a little tricky. Or take some pain. Take some pain. So yeah, I think that people really, really, really like, crave, and thrive on heavy structure in lots of ways, lots of places. Now, if we got an island off the top, I declare if we, my goodness, if we just got an island, I would be a happy camper. Glimpse of the cosmos, huh? What do you know? Untapped land one time. Untapped land one time. Oh, he has enough to upgrade that. Well, I mean, we just died. This guy also has double strike. Alright, we've lost. It's okay. That's okay. That's alright. GG says the brain automatically discovers patterns in everything on its own, so if you help the brain along just enough, it really likes it. But if you give it too much structure, it feels confined and gets frustrated. That at least is tightrope, I think we can agree. I would call less a tightrope and more you have to understand where you want the freedom to exist and where you don't want the freedom to exist. In Counter-Strike, it's ridiculously heavy-handedly structured on the scoring side. Think I send this one back, maybe? No, I think it's fine. I think it's actually fine. Hey, Flame Seekers, have a good night, man. Or day, or wherever the hell you are. And I think that people can mess this up, where you want to not constrain the experience, you want to... Oh, no! Any land is helpful for us here, because then I can divide by 0 for environmental sciences and be a happier camper. Still not dead. Yeah, I want to stress the difference between clarity and structure versus following some sort of formula of rules. So, for instance, what I don't mean is you have to do this in Chapter 1, do this in Chapter 2, do this in Chapter 3, do this in Chapter 4, do this in Chapter 5. You have to go in this order, and it's the only order that matters. Versus, the reader should know at the start of your story what this story is actually supposed to be about. That's something that brains like. This is an observed, studied thing. Or... in a game, players should have a good sense of what the score of the game is, how well they are doing on the way to winning or losing. I want land. Lucifi. Kill these guys. Do you think that these overstated conditions are going to hurt or disrupt brain functionality for people as they begin to get comfortable with these systems that control more and more of people's environment? I actually just broadly think I don't know what you're... I don't think I know what you're saying. I'm just observing that people really like structure. And I think in multiplayer games where you're trying to give players a lot of cool tools and possibilities, like here in Magic, I mean, my God, there's 5 different colors, and you can put any mixture of things together that you want. I mean, it's incredible the kinds of things that can come out of a satisfying game of Magic the Gathering. But it's pretty rigid in terms of the idea of, like, draw a card at the start of each turn. Here is the help.
I will get what I want.
Alright, I think I probably am just gonna leave. I'm just gonna depart. I'm just gonna leave this game. And I think maybe the prime example that happened with me in the last 10 years is a board game called Go. Love Go. Go's a good game. Go is super sick. However, I had to study the game and watch lectures for about 50 to 100 hours before I learned what the implicit structure of the game was enough to be able to begin to appreciate moves. Because up until that point, it just kind of looked like random noise. We see black-white again. And again, it's this black-white control list that is really nice. You run 4 of these. You run a lot of learn cards. You run 4 Eye Twitches, 4 Professor of Symbologies. You run 4 Kayas, 4 Blood in the Snows, 4 Elite Spelly Boys. We err on the side of blue. These guys, I'm starting to see more and more games becoming brain-dead style games where people don't have to think or figure out problems on their own, and they basically are in the passenger seat and the game hold their hand. I now see what you're talking about. It's me. I'm here to prosper. I am the Innkeeper. Oh, come out as a copy of Quandrix Cultivator. Oh. Same thing. Oh, I'll get some MS Paint out to delineate between this later, maybe. But the statement I would make is, it's really important for the goals to be really clear, and your progress towards completing those goals to be really clear. I never would have thought. But you don't want the tools and the obstacles in the way to be overly simple. You know what's a great example of this that I love to use? 2D Mario games. You know what your goal is in 2D Mario games? Go right. How do I know if I'm doing well? Are you going right? Have you gone right for a bit? Then you're doing great. Keep going right. By God, keep going right. So I think that we can do this if we do this, and then if I play this is exactly 6. Great. Hi, I'm Ashaya. Oh shit, this trigger is gonna fucking own me. No, dude, fuck, man. Oh my god. Shit. Let me explain why I was annoyed. When you cast something, once it hits the battlefield, I have priority. So once it was on the battlefield, I would have been able to Alrund's Epiphany, and there is nothing my opponent could have done from preventing me from doing that. Oh wait, I could have actually just gone tap, 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 tap. Never mind, I fucking suck. Don't worry, just bad, that's it, just bad. This can happen with Planeswalkers. Like, there was this Planeswalker that had an enter the battlefield effect that was like, when this Planeswalker enters the battlefield, I don't know, do 1 damage to the opponent. But because it would hit the battlefield and that trigger, deal 1 damage, because that goes on the stack, you don't have time to activate your Planeswalker ability. So it's kind of this weird thing where ETB effects for sorcery speed purposes can sometimes be a real pain in the ass.
As innocent people are slaughtered, ghosting through ruin.
Alright, we win. Hello. Never would I have thought. Neverwinter Dryad beatdown, man. Gotcha. Deadly dispute. This dude disputes. There's no way we lose. It's great. Did I do it? Thumbs up. Huh, huh, huh. So again, I want to stress the difference between The goal being clear, and then the gameplay being overly structured and clear. So, for instance, like in Mario, you just go to the right. It's so clear what you're trying to do. But the obstacles, the difficulty of the jumping puzzles, the mechanics, the different hats Mario can get and power up, there's a shitload of complexity, of difficulty, of practice. There's just a lot going on in those games. And I think this is the mistake that I see a lot of games make, where they go, well, I want this game to be understood and played by a broad audience of people. Terrific. Terrific, terrific, terrific. Great. Oh, shit. It's one of these fuckers, huh? So this is a Gruul Bard's list, where what our opponent is trying to do is they are conceding immediately. Rank up. Shit, I had a good train of thought. I think a lot of games are messing this up, where what they do is we want our game to be understandable and playable by a wide variety of people. What's the way to do that? We're going to make the gameplay so simple. Super simple gameplay. There's 3 buttons, rock, paper, and scissors in a real-time rock, paper, scissors combat. The depth is as deep as rock, paper, scissors, which according to the internet is deep. So we've done it. No, you haven't. You haven't done it. You have created something whose gameplay is limited. You want the goal to be abundantly clear. Like, fuck, man. Like, Fortnite and PUBG, there's a million different places you can drop in and land. There's 1,000 different, like, add-ons to your guns in PUBG. You have to figure out how to quickly turn into a house and then pull out a gun in Fortnite. It's, like, fucking ridiculously complex gameplay-wise. But the structure of that game is stay in the fucking circle. Super simple. And I actually think, I mean, ignoring the memery that people... Oh, shit. Ignoring the memery that people like to associate with me with that game. Hood is a fantastic example of a game in which... it was almost as though the gameplay was overly simplified. And then the structure of the game was not as simple. Structure of the game was like, you need to get the key, and then you need to open the thing up, and you need to bring the thing to the winch. You gotta winch it a little bit, and there's, like, points that occur that don't matter for this, but will matter for the next game you play, and so... Okay, Scoops, it's like Daisy. You can do anything, but the main thing is just to stay alive. I actually think that I would describe Daisy as a great example of an unstructured game. A concerningly, problematically unstructured game. Guess we're doing this, huh? Because there's a difference between a goal and a structure. Like in StarCraft, one of my favorite games. In StarCraft, the goal is clear. Kill the other person. Super clear. But, like, what are the steps of progress? Is it this Ranger class that's doing this? Okay. Perfect. Yeah, maybe I should have actually gotten that. Yeah, like go kill the other guy. It's like obvious what the goal is, but it's like, what are the steps to do it? Like the fact that in Dota you have to kill Tower 1, kill Tower 2, kill Tower 3 in 3 different lanes, make your way out. I feel like that kind of overarching structure is superb. Ah! Dude, Glasspool Mimic with Cyclone Summoner is actually legitimately nasty, man. I mean, that is some nasty gameplay synergy. Because what's going to happen now is we're going to completely blow this green deck out of the water. It's going to get upgraded, it's going to swing, I'm going to block, pop, and maybe I'll actually hold and test the talents. But then when I Cyclone Summoner, this is actually a Glasspool Mimic, so the Glasspool Mimic will come back to the hand. Be gone. Alright, Snakeskin, Ranger, and Shambler, huh? Okay, yeah, this is going to be a hard one to lose. Especially if we can smash down a Koma. Got to look in the library? I sure did. Suppose it's because it doesn't matter. I mean, this is pure sick nasty gaming right here. I mean, this is just revolting. You know what I mean? Yeah, and like Factorio was brought up, and I think Factorio is a really nice example where your goal is to launch the rocket. What are the steps along the goal? Make Science 1, make Science 2, make Science 3, make Science 4. This is actually gross. Send it all back, you know? I mean, my God. It feels really nice to be winning games with bounce effects. Like, really, really nice. Hello, Grace says, I want to grab this deck list later after work. How do I find it? If you watch the start of this video, I have the whole list up on screen. And when I upload to YouTube, I include the deck list in the descriptions. Alright, so we're just going to do this, and we're going to return this one and this one. I think this is absolutely fine. Still hanging pretty strong at, like, you know, 24 health. What up? What up? Come on over. Come on over, sweet thing. What up? It's my little baby cat. How's your little head doing? I love you. All right. Uh-oh. Are you going to drink my water again? Excuse me, let me just access my coffee real fast. Again, I'd like to note that this is her mug. Want to stick your head in there? What a sweet cat. What a sweet, good baby. Alright, so we go Hall of the Storm Giants, Vineglimmer Snarl. We go in this order because it's possible to draw another Hall of the Storm Giants or other thingy. Alright, so we go boop, bang, doop, boop, boop. Oh, so what's the difference between standard and constructed standard? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I'm just adding another keyword. Just add another one. Okay, so this is red, blue. So, Is It Dragons was like the first big one to smash onto the scene, you know, and people were really excited about. 2022 standard. Is It Dragons was kind of it. People all in on that puppy. So this could just be Is It Dragons again. Oh, God. Okay, this, I now anticipate, is the list. Which is basically... Excuse me. It's like Foretell en masse. It's like Jeskai Foretell. It runs Cody, it runs like Starnheim Unleashed, it runs Doom Scars and Alrund's Epiphany. It's just like this kind of honestly hilarious control list. Bang. Boom. Woo! Someone's Alrund like crazy over here. Coming up. So you better get this party started. I'll do it! I don't even give a shit. No, I don't. Sacking it now. Sacking it now. I need enough mana out to Alrund's Epiphany and then divide by 0. So we're really trying to sprint to 9. Feel quite fine. So because AlphaNet played Expressive Iteration, AlphaNet does not have enough manas to do a counterspell. Now they do. I repeat, they do now. I repeat. Great. I think this is fine. That's counterspell. I think that's genuinely fine. Great. Moop Goop, I really like AFR drafts. Not as much as Strixhaven, which is maybe one of my favorite draft formats like of all time. I adored that. Snored and adored. Okay, so just enough for the single counterspell. That's pretty cool. How much do we have? We need one more turn to start doing what we want to do. Again, I just don't think... Test of Talents is quite nasty. I think there's a single thing that I'm worried about, so I'm going to foretell this one too. Test of Talents is very, very good for us here. I actually hope AlphaNet tries to cast something. That would be good. Blue. I just start looping some turns here. that's a little bit obnoxious. I think I have like so many defensive spells here that it like also helps a ton. Wow, that hurt my brain. I didn't realize I didn't realize what I'd done. Alright, so we're building up. It's fine. Taking a bunch of turns in a row. I can't divide by zero these things. Man, could I get something other than these Quandrix Cultivators? I have so many good defensive cards, though. I think we just take 12. Probably need to start swinging with this. I wish I just had my Hydra land. There's like most of the things that I draw make me very, very happy. Alright, there we go. That is just fine. Villain is not careful. Villain will lose the game. Do this because there's only one blue. Magnum Opus and some Doomskars. Cool, 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 cool. Library. Expressive Iteration. Lorehold Command. Super sweet card. This out of there. There's the hand. I actually think these are both Saw It Comings. I think we're okay. Divide by zero. Now they just bring it back. I want these counter spells used. Great. So then the Doomskar Curse. Perfect. The Hall of the Storm Giants is coming to town. This is very hard to stop. Sinjasmati says, what happened to the loud neighbors? Miss those guys? Yeah, my technology improved. That's really it. That's all it happened. Just Talents is like the ideal draw against a deck that runs all spells. Yeah, I just improved my sound setup. That's it. That's all I did. I think we just send it back to the hand. Nice. I think we'll maybe play for a smidge longer, like a little smidge longer. I just think this deck is quite fun to play. I mean, it's ramp. It's big. EGPG, lemon squeegee. Yes. I'm going to play this one first and then go into these little puppies. Scotch-Ape's deck has so many different angles to kill from. I love it. It's a fun one. Going King says, oh my, do I see the best card ever printed, Test of Talents? Very narrow card. Very narrow card. Very bad. Very weak, very bad card. I don't think I do anything yet. This is going to be a good time as any for some pests, you know what I mean? Bing bong. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, great. So now we're going to Cyclone Summon. I love these tempo plays. Some sick, slick little tempo, man. Dude, it just feels good to send things away. Feels good to just send them on home. 1, 2, 3. Yep. I want to invite the attack first. Pricey one. Did I just shit the bed? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh shit, I sure did. Dipsies. I can start off everything. Mine as well. This is the important one to kill off. Okay, so it's dead anyways. That is okay. So the thing that I did wrong was that I thought I had enough mana to mega up the Inscription of Abundance, but I didn't. So it's not really a mistake, as in oh damn, I would have done this, but I couldn't. And then my opponent just had enough to kill me with, so they dually killed me. We were aware of their ability to pump with the Battlecry Goblin, which is why I was trying to think through that turn. But, they just had the shocks, and they, they killed me. Housepan says you could have saved 4 life earlier, but it's whatever. Tell me. This one, please. Yeah, I think the Goblins match was actually, like, really interesting. There's, like, a lot. There's a lot of cool stuff. I don't know. I just think the Standard feels so great. Like, when I lose that game, I go, oh, damn, I lost on that turn. There's probably some other things I could have done. Okay, that's cool. It doesn't feel like blunt, flat linearity, you know? I mean, this sucks a little bit to do, but, you know, it sucks to suck. Sure. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. Like, in this one, I was like, do I want to do this? Do I want to... I don't know. I like having those little thinkies. Sort of begins Dimir control, which goes on for a long time. Like, a long time. It uses, like, Graven Lores and a few... Behold the Multiverses to draw a bunch. Behold, land. Yeah. So we're going to be up against a lot of Saw It Cummins for a little bit of time. What we are hoping for is Ruki has probably like 1 or 2 Professor Onyxes and 1 or 2 Mordekainens. I mean, it's pretty basic what we're anticipating comes down. So we're just gonna run into these. It's totally fine. Hey, excuse me. I'm gonna favor blue mana on this spot. Be a Behold the Multiverse. I actually played quite a lot of Dimir Control. A little bit on air, a lot more off air. It's really, really fun. The common error that many Control players make is there are Control lists like... Well, let's ignore the label for a moment. There's decks like the one that we're running, in which there's actually many plays that we make to try to close out a game. A common one is chaining some Alrund's Epiphany. Some of them include chaining some Cyclone Summoners. Some of them just include clearing everything off and having a few counter spells with a slap land to hit someone in the face. There's a lot of ways that you can close a game out. With a lot of these Dimir control lists, poison the cup. With many of these Dimir control lists, you really are looking to, like, just absolutely not at all. No. Absolutely not at all make any plays in the slightest at all. Period. Until, like, turn 25. Like, you'll counter, you will kill stuff, you will draw cards, but don't play Professor Onyx or Mordekainen until you're way later than you think you should. For instance, right now, let's imagine that my opponent has a 5-mana Planeswalker and 2 mana open for a counterspell. I think a substantial mistake that one could make this is fine. A substantial mistake that you could make in Ruki's position is to play that 5-mana walker and say, I have 2 mana open for a counter or kill spell. Thumbs up. I think it's a big mistake. You kind of need to make sure that you can do 2 or 3 removal / counters a turn as the game goes on. And if you want to play your walker, I feel like you do need like 2 counter spells on an empty board. Perfect. This is where things start to actually get quite tricky for villain. Yeah, I think I will, actually. I messed up the ordering, but it doesn't matter. All we lost is the life. Okay. Phone alarm's going off. Ew. Time to do a little bit of this. Yeah, let's draw. Let's draw 2. I don't actually really care if Iymrith swings once. I think I'm okay with that. Test of Talents gives us an incredible peek at what Ruki's doing. I mean, these lists will run like 1 to 2 Iymriths. Not a lot. So when you're doing a Dimir control list that's like this hard, I think you gotta be like ultra stupidly careful. No. Yeah. Well, rats. We're definitely going to be testing some talents. So the fact that Ruki didn't actually respond negates a lot of the effectiveness of Iymrith Desert Doom. Because, I mean, you only draw if you have less than... Or you only really maximize Iymrith if you, like, swing when you're empty. Because this lets you draw up to 3. When it deals combat damage, draw a card. If you have fewer than 3 cards in hand, draw cards equal to the difference. There it is.
To maintain balance, bolster the weak.
So we win. Because again, like this is the mistake that I was talking about before, where you have enough for like just the one thing.
If I were you.
So let's see. Alrund's Epiphany is the first one that we're going to do, right? So we do this. There is then an attempt to counter it. No. Cool. We actually need a land here. Uh-oh. Well, it's actually pretty good. This guy back. Alright, do this. Send in the birds. okay. I think we are okay. I think it was actually an incredible play to not counter the first Alrund's Epiphany that I cast. I was like an like Rookie either just didn't have it at all, or is one and truly a gamer. I find this format so good. I think this format's so awesome. Renegade Cosplay, we are running Simic Rampies. Cross Ones is about to propose to my girlfriend on LA. Any advice about marriage? Yeah, man. Too many things to say about marriage. Okay. I'm going to do this. Because my opponent would need exactly negate to deal with things. Test the Talon is... Oh, right, sure. Dwarf Disruption's fine. Dog. Bang. Okay, so let's see here. What to do? Yeah, this is... We basically win. I'll draw.
Control, one must first know.
Yeah, I mean, I personally believe that the biggest thing that is necessary for a long and successful relationship is just spending a lot of time talking shit out, man. We did it. We won. Bam. Boom. Everyone, away with you. That's a dog. That's blue. Spending lots and lots and lots of time talking stuff out, man. Figuring it out, talking it out, working it out. Like a lot. Saying, hey, we're having a great day. What are some pattern things that I do that piss you off? Talk about that, man. Talk about it, talk about it, talk about it, talk about it. Bad dog. Talk about that stuff, man. I mean, I think that in relationships, not just marriages, but like relationships, man. I think it's really common to just start letting a little thing slide here, a little thing slide there, not really facing it, not really worrying about it. It's okay, you know, like on a scale of 1 to 10, it's like a 2. It's not a big deal. Talk about it. Because, again, one individual thing that's a 2 is not an issue. But if you have 5,000 things that are a 2, you fucked.
Well, darn. Looks like you flunked out. Mwah.
I think I'm doing this right. I do this. And I do this. There's some technical mastery happening right here. And because these are lands, I can tap these. I think that communication comes from having lots of challenging conversations, even inventing challenging conversations to have. I don't mean inventing as in like, you know what, I'm mad about your opinions on bees. Like, I don't fucking make stuff up, but I mean like, hey, we're having a great day, we've had a great week, we've had a great month, but I remember 2 months ago you were kind of annoyed with, I don't know, how late I was staying up and it was messing with your sleep. I want to talk to you about that. Just talk about these things. Just work through it. And also have the understanding that you're probably going to fuck up in your communication. Your significant other's probably going to fuck up in their communication, so you should spend a lot of time communicating. I mean, it's just... And I mean, I think that there is no replacement for sheer raw dedication. Time. I mean, that is the core reason why I have what I would call a successful relationship. We did some grinding, baby. We did some grinding. Ground it out. You know what I'm saying? All right, so this is a nice start. Alrund's Epiphany obviously is a nice one to have, but you know, against these mono white lists, they reflood very, very rapidly, so can I guess this? Probably this. I want more. Yeah, I think that, like, when it comes to... Take a little pain here. Oh, that's so good for us. I'm gonna try to, like, block with nothing. I think that'll be probably the best one. Yeah, I think that, like, awesome. Great news. This is Giants, Wizards, Lands. I think that there's, like, the... Make sure you talk about stuff. Get into conversations aggressively. Talk about things a lot. Also, make sure that you got your space creation. Let's do this, eat that, right? Make sure that you are going in with the olive branch extended. Hey, you might mess up in this, I might mess up in this. Let's take some space. Let's take a step away, everyone. I think that's a pretty good outcome here. And we can get one of our little friends here. Seems good. Choice Farms 889, I was the blue-black player from before. What an honor to play against you. I thought I'd play one match for bed. Who do I play against? GG. Had to sub to watch from your perspective. Hi from the Czech Republic. Oh my god, what a treat. One of the greatest things about streaming when you're playing is the number of people that pop by after the matches. And I will say, I think that Dimir list that you're playing is hard as hell to play. I think it's a hard list to play. And it's really fun, too. Portable hole. How much do I have left over? Alright, cool. Quandrix Cultivator. We're going to take this action. We're going to... Let's play till we lose. This is a fun one. Ghost Farm says, it is. I enjoy it a little. I had to try to find some small advantages against you, but in the end it was too much. Epiphany is nasty. Dude, Joyous Farm, you also kind of got screwed on your card draw. You were like a Dimir control player that had land and removal, and that's it. And I was like, alright, well, this game's going to be very straightforward for us. But you know what? I'm not going to lie. At Day 9 TV, we take those wins. We absolutely take those, you know. But yeah, I do think Epiphany is just a little bit strong. It's a little bit... I actually like the way in which it is strong. it does sometimes result in like those games where your head rolls so much, your eyes roll back so far into your head where you're just like, oh, I didn't play around 4 turns in a row, I guess. I mean, Mono Black discard, eh? Versus, did you finish Control off stream? I'm thinking I might try it, beating it on Friday. I'm gonna try to beat it on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend. I think I might try to do it on Friday. Zoo Laporte Merchant. What do I think about this one, huh? I mean, I just don't see a reason to do anything too complicated here. No. Hi, I'm Alrund, and I've been thinking a lot. I don't know if I'll ever come across a great thought, but I'm thinking as hard as I can. Yeah, tomorrow we're going to be playing Back for Blood with Sacriel, and Sacriel is frankly more social than I am, so he's going to bring some of his friends in there. I think that maybe Anthony Kong fan, whom I know exists, but that's about it. That's about as much as I know. I'll be playing with us. And then, if I'm enjoying Back for Blood, I'm going to play it all day on Friday. I mean, I actually went and looked at a mission listing for the game. For Control. I knew what it could be. Is the Back for Blood a beta? Yes, it's a B4BB, Milky Dew. Back for Blood, I will be playing it tomorrow. I have a key, and it's 7:30. I am allowed to. My assumption is that H0 is more than likely going to make scooters.
Darkness will swallow. My power is for annihilation.
Annihilation commencing. Our #1 goal in this match right now is to try to get enough treasures and land out to go Iymrith, Alrund's Epiphany. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we're going to need 6 and 5, which is going to be 11. Right in the soul. Right in the soul hole. Early stream at 7:30? No. Unfortunately, it's just like I can begin the download. Noon is when I can actually... Or not begin the download. It's when I can redeem the key. Few things I love as much as dividing by 0. Aha! If Lolth comes down, we'll definitely bounce Lolth. Fuck. Okay. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I really don't want to do this, man. I think I have to permit it.
You reek with terror. Exquisite.
Waiters.
Subservience will be rewarded.
Ah, it's me. I'm just made out of death. Yeah, I will finish Control on air, because I went and looked at a mission listing of Control, and I mean, I have like 2.5 missions left in the game. Healing. Teachings of the Archaics.
Come, I'll tell you a secret.
I don't expect a turn to be taken ever again. Show me what you got. So we gotta be control. I think control's terrific. This is amazing. Do you want a triple block, man? Yes, I think I do. Triple blocking, there's nothing I'd rather do.
We will slay our enemies.
We will slay our... Oh my god. Bada 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 bada. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. Do we lose? Really good. Wouldn't bouncing a spider been more worth it there? If I could have bounced the spider, yes, but Divide by Zero says you can't bounce anything that has a cost of 0. You can only bounce them with 1 or more. Which I think is cute. Hey, thanks, Anirion. Just want to say thanks for all the fantastic positive content. You know, I, for one, warmly thank you. For two, anytime someone says, thanks for the positive content, I immediately want to say something incredibly rude. God's Argument says, do you think the abundance of creature lands is pushing control out of the meta? I feel like it's good for control lists and aggro lists. I think it's good all around. It's incredible. No! Oh, man! No! Ah. Ah. I think this is the one that we're going to lose. If Villain doesn't pick Divide by Zero, then he's a gamer. Oh, our opponent made a mistake. Sheriff, Villain messed up. Isn't that great news? Dum 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 dum. Take this damage because I cannot risk Divide by Zero getting I can't risk Divide by Zeroing this. You're gone. Because if I bounced that and I went to go get Environmental Sciences, they would cast the Elite Spellbinder and they would just snatch away my Environmental Sciences, which I would hate. Makey no mistakey about it. Test of Talent. Writing is actually going to be like a real pain in the ass. Oh, Sheriff, come here. Come on. This is Sheriff. Hi. Oh, we're purring. Oh, we're enjoying this, even though we're in a very weird position. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Oh, this is just the very best baby. Hi. Ow, ow. Ow. Oh, man, that's actually... That is an unbelievable banger. Good cat. What a good baby. What a good baby. Yeah, did you want some snoogles? Want some snuggle time? Come on. Okay. Okay. Hi. Oh, hi. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Skyclave apparition, no! I don't believe it. Well, I have good news and I have bad news. Bad news is that we're switching to a 5-color dragon deck. Because we lost. Good news is that we're switching to a 5-color dragon deck.